Start. So, Namaskar and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session. So, today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is how to use React-based external component in Content Hub. So, before jumping into the presentation, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Gautam and I am a senior technology lead. I have total 15 plus years of experience in various Microsoft technologies. In Sitecore, I have 5+ years of experience, and like from past 1.5 years, I have been involved in various Content Hub implementations. So yeah, that's about me. I have Tushar with me as a co-speaker. So Tushar, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Tushar. I am working as a senior developer at Horizontal. I have around 7+ years of experience, and I have started my journey in Sitecore from around 7.2 version, and then I have worked on 7.5, and there are multiple versions which I have worked. Apart from there, from past 1 years, I have been the part of Content Hub community, and I am working on a couple of Content Hub projects as well. So that's all about me. Thank you, Gautam. Hand it over to you.
Yeah. So let's see the agenda for today. So today, first we talk about what is Content Hub and the evolution of that Content Hub. Then we'll talk about different types of component in Content Hub. Then obviously what is external component. Then we have a very interesting topic, which is old versus new external component. Then we'll see how to develop these React-based external component. Then of course we have a demo session, and then if we have a time, then we'll do some question answer rounds. So first thing I wanted to share, like let's say if I want to explain, or if I were to summarize the evolution of Content Hub in just single slide, then it would be, do you agree? Raise your hand if you agree. Good. Okay, so Content Hub was launched back in 2019. And after that, they have done many releases, and what they are doing, they are keep adding new functionalities in Content Hub. So let's say if I talk about the different modules of Content Hub, we have Content Hub DAM, we have CMP, we have PCM, we have Web2Print, and then we have a MRM. So in this session, we are not going to talk about these modules, but let's say if you want to access the DAM, so then you need to go to the asset listing page, okay, and in that asset listing page, you will see all the assets. If you click on asset, you will go to the asset detail page, where you can find all the metadata of that particular asset. Similar way, in PCM, we have product listing page, then we have a product detail page, where you can find all the metadata of that product. So with that being said, I would say each feature in Content Hub is associated with a page. What is the idea behind of that page? What is the idea of the concept of that page? Tushar is going to explain in the next slide.
Thank you, Gautam. So as Gautam mentioned, that everything we see in Content Hub, which is belong to a one page. So here in this slide, I have presented one screenshot of asset detail page. So in that page, I have highlighted few sections, which is in a green border. So in that section, these are nothing but a component which are configured on page. So these are the different components which are clubbed together, and that make one page in Content Hub. So how that component will work in background, so that thing will see in the next slide. So in this slide, you will see the actual layout which is configured in background, where you have multiple zones available. So you can see that header zone left, header zone right, those are nothing but a placeholder which are used to inject component inside that particular section. So we can add n number of component into that particular section. And the left hand side, you see the list of pages which already Content Hub has created, or if you have created your custom page, that page will be also listed there. So you can search and you can select the page, and you will be able to see the layout of that particular page. So this is all about the page configuration. Now let's move to the component part. So let's hand it over to Gautam. We'll explain you the part of component. Thank you, Gautam.
Yeah. So as Tushar mentioned, on a page we have placeholders. On placeholders you can add components. So if I talk about the components of Content Hub, there are two types of component. One is pre-built component, which Content Hub provides out of the box. So in this presentation, we are not going to talk about these pre-built components. We will focus on external components. So if I talk about the external components, they are the most powerful approach to extend the out of the box functionality of Content Hub. So let's say if you want to add any key feature, or if you want to add any extend any out of the box functionality, you can do this with the help of external component. So with that being said, I want to share one beautiful quote, and that is, out of the box things will get you from A to Z, but customization, will get you everywhere. In the context of Content Hub, you can do this customization by the help of these external components. So in Content Hub, external component is a way to do the customization. Now, what is this external component? As I said, these are extensible component, which means you can add new functionalities and capabilities. And if you want to add any external libraries, you can do that with the help of external component. So now this external component has been there in Content Hub since its initial release. Then why there is so much buzz around these external component? Like why everyone is talking about how these external component, why these external components? So the thing is, back in 2022, I guess, first quarter in 2022, Content Hub has changed its framework from Knockout to React. Okay, but what does that mean in relation to external component? That means they have changed the way how to write these external component. They have added the support of React functionality in Content Hub. Now you must be thinking, we already have this pre-built component. We talk about external component. Now we have two types of external component, old external component and new external component. What is the difference between them? Old external component, obviously they support the older version of Content Hub. New external component, they'll support the newer version of Content Hub version. So again, now you are not going to use these old external component, because in future you are going to use the new instance of or new version of Content Hub. So you'll be using these new external component, new React based external component. These are very loosely coupled. How they are loosely coupled, I'll show in the upcoming slides. And obviously they have added the support of React framework while developing these external component. Now you know these external component, but it's worth to see how we used to work on these old external components. So Tushar is going to explain how we used to write these old external component before that version of 4.2.0.
Thank you, Gautam. So as we see in the screen, the older external component configuration part, which I have shown here in the screenshot. So basically older external component will be available for the above of 4.2.0 version, and if you are using 4.2.0 and above version, then the new React based component are supported into that version. So in this screenshot you will be able to see the configuration part, where we have to configure the resource library. If we want to integrate any third party library with our component, then we can configure that part. Also we can provide an input to our component, so that part is also configurable. And the second thing is the code. So basically code section is something that we are injecting our JavaScript code inside the component, which will extend our component capability. And then the third part is template. So template nothing but an HTML markup, which you are going to use for represent your component on a page. So these are the main configuration for older external component. And let's move to the next slide. So now we know that 4.2.0 will have a support of React component. So if we are utilizing our existing older version of Content Hub, then if we want to migrate our Content Hub instance or upgrade our Content Hub instance, so in that case we need to migrate our React component, which we need to migrate our component into a React component. So that's something Content Hub has done, replacing that Knockout.js framework to the React one, which will provide a better user experience and improve the performance of our page. Apart from that, there are some things which you need to take care while we are upgrading. That if we are upgrading our Content Hub instance, then we need to take care that external component which we have developed in our older version. So that will need to migrate first, and then that will be also working in our new version of Content Hub. Yeah, can you just move to the next slide? Yeah, here Gautam will explain you the configuration of component in Content Hub.
So yeah, in the old external component, you used to write JavaScript code. You used to write the HTML template inside this external page component. But in the newer version of external component, you don't need to write any JavaScript code inside that external component. All you need to do, just create your external component outside of that Content Hub instance in Visual Studio Code. Once you done with it, just compile it and create a one single bundle.js file. How will you create these single bundle.js file? Tushar is going to explain. We will be using that module bundler webpack. So Tushar is going to explain what is that webpack. Once you are done with that, you have created one single bundle.js file. Just host it on any CDN environment, or if you want to store that inside that Content Hub, use the portal asset. How you can use that portal asset to store this bundle.js file, I'll show you in the next slide. Okay. Now let's say you are done with the code, you are done with bundle.js file, you have hosted that bundle.js file. Now you need to create that external component inside that Content Hub instance. Once you create that external component in Content Hub, it will give you two options. One, use that bundle.js file from your hosted environment, because all your code or all your logic is inside that bundle.js file, which has all the dependencies to run that React component. First, use that hosted environment, or you can use that bundle.js file from Content Hub through portal assets. So you can see I have added two screenshots. One, if you want to use that bundle.js file from your hosted environment, or second option, which is if you want to use that bundle.js file from portal assets inside that Content Hub. One thing you'll notice that for this hosting bundle.js file, I am using my local server. So the logic behind that, why I have used that my local server, because these external components are loaded at client side. That means you can host your bundle.js file on your local server while doing development, okay, and have it run on the public instance of Content Hub. Second important thing, better developer experience. So in the last slide, I have mentioned that these external components are loosely coupled. So let's say you have done your development, okay, and you have hosted that file, everything is working, and now let's say there is some requirement change. So all you need to do, just go to your Visual Studio Code, change the code, deploy it, that's it. You don't need to go inside that Content Hub instance. So that's why they are kind of very loosely coupled. So now, how to store these bundle.js file in portal assets, very simple. You all know the manage page in Content Hub. Just go to the manage page, search for portal assets, it will open a tile, just click on that, it will open a page. On the top right section, you will see one button, just click on that, it will open a pop-up, just drag and drop your bundle file, that's it, done. So now, let's say you know about all these external components, and you want to start the actual development of these external components. So to start this development, there are some prerequisites you should consider, and Tushar is going to explain what are these.
Thank you, Gautam. So now we know how we can configure component and what are the different configuration we need to do for the component. But that's something which we need to consider as a prerequisite, that we should have a necessary permission of Content Hub instance, because we need to upload that bundle asset into a Content Hub portal asset section, as well as we need to configure that component in Content Hub. That's another point, which is the understanding of Content Hub. So you should have a basic knowledge of Content Hub, where you should have to configure that component, where you should have that portal asset should be uploaded. And the development environment, to set up a development environment, I will explain the detail in next slide. So that's something we need to take care. Apart from that, you should have a React knowledge, because ultimately we are going to develop a component in a React application. So that's and the most important thing is that the JavaScript SDK. So JavaScript SDK is a module which provided by Sidecore that will provide us the capability to extend our Content Hub feature in our external component. So that's something you should have some knowledge on that as well. So this is all about the prerequisite part. Now let's move to that development environment setup. So development environment setup, I have divided into two different approach. The first approach which I have mentioned is that starter kit, which we have created, and that Git repo we have committed. So here is that link. So you can use that Git repo, you can clone the code, and you just need to run that npm install command, then your setup is ready and you can ready to develop your external component. And now let's move to the another approach that you do not want that Git repo, you want to set up everything from scratch in your local system. Then you need to follow the steps which I have mentioned in slide, like the first step, you need to create your React app. Then the second step is that you need to install the Webpack module. So basically Webpack module is something that will provide us the capability to convert our React component into a single bundle.js file, which will be utilized by Content Hub. So that's something we need to install that module bundler. Apart from that, the third most important thing is that Sitecode JavaScript SDK file, which we need to install. So that module we need to install. So for that we need to run this command. So these are the commands for that, and once we are done with all this setup, and then last we need to just build the solution, and then if our build is success, then we are ready to create our new component into that application. So these are all the steps which we need to follow to set up our development environment in local instance. Let's move to the next slide. So here that bundle Webpack module bundler config file, which Gautam will going to explain you that what are the different configurations into that.
Yeah. So okay. So I have added the screenshot of my webpack.config.js. So as Tushar mentioned, Webpack is a module bundler which actually compiles your React component and creates a single bundle.js file. So in that bundle.js file, all the dependencies are there which runs that external component. So if you see, I have added 3 sections. Section 1 is the section where you actually write your React component. So you can see I have created 3 component: API call, create public links, public links. Section 2 is a section where you can give the path where your bundle.js file should be stored after that compilation, and in that section 3 you can see all my compiled single bundle.js file. So I have created 3 components. It will create 3 bundle.js file, 1 for each component. So now let's say you are done with that, like you are done with development, you are done with bundle.js file, you are done with the hosting of this bundle.js file. Now you need to create that external component in Content Hub. So to create this external component in Content Hub, you just need to go to the manage page. Just search for pages, click on that pages style. It will list all the pages available in Content Hub. Just search for your page where you want to add this component. So in our case, it was asset detail page. So we search for asset detail. Now, once you click on this asset detail page, it will open asset detail page. Now you can see all the placeholders are there. Just click on plus icon, it will open a pop-up. It will show all the pre-built component plus external component. Search for your external component, click on that, give a proper name, just add it. Now your component is added into the Content Hub. Then just double click on this content, that external component. Now it will show the settings. So now you can see there are 2 settings. One, if you want to get it from your hosted environment, if you want to get this bundle.js file from hosted environment, you can give the path. Or if you want to add this bundle.js file from Content Hub instance, you can choose that from asset. So yeah. This is that presentation is done. So let's move to the demo section. Okay, so for this demo session, we have created 2 use cases. So on the first use case, I'll give the demo, and second use case will be handled by Tushar. So for the first use case, what I'll do, I'll go to my Content Hub instance. So this is my Content Hub instance. This is my playground instance. I'll go to the home page. I'll go to the asset detail page. So this is my asset detail page. Now you can see on this asset I have 15 renditions. So let's say you want to create the public links of these renditions. So if you want to create a public link, you just need to go to these 3 dots, click on this, go to the public links. It will open a pop-up. You have a drop down for these rendition. If you want to create public link for any rendition, you just need to select this rendition from this drop down and just click on save. So if you have one rendition and if you want to create the public link of this single rendition, that is fine. But let's assume you have 15 renditions and you want to create the public links of these 15 renditions, then it is a very tedious task. So to overcome this issue, we have created one component, one external component. So I'll quickly go to my Visual Studio Code. This is my external component, which is create public links. So you can see I have added one single button, and once user clicks on that single button, what this component will do, it will get the rendition names from config. Let's say I have 15 rendition, but assume it I want to create the public links only for 10 renditions. So it will get these 10 rendition names from config, call the JavaScript SDK and create public link. So this is all about this component. So what I'll do, I'll quickly build that command, build that this external component. So with the help of npm run build, I'll just run it. It will give the instruction to my webpack. Okay, we have these components, build it, compile it, and create a single bundle.js file. Bundle.js file is created. You can see on my public folder, we have all the bundle.js file. What I'll do for this demo, I'll host this bundle.js file on my local server. So I'll run my server, and with the help of npm run start, enter. My 3000 server is on. So I'll refresh that. You'll see this create public link.js this is a bundle.js file. So that is hosted on my local machine. So this is the bundle.js file. Again, you don't need to go inside that because that's a very large file and it has all the dependencies to run that React component. So I'll use that hosted path on my external component. So let's go to the content hub and create this external component inside that content hub. All you need to do go to the manage page, search for pages, click on that page. It will list all the pages that are available inside that content hub. Search your page. So in our case, it was asset detail page. Click on this asset detail. You will see all the placeholders, all the different zones. So let's say if I want to add my create public link component in that placeholder, I'll click that plus icon. Now these are all pre-built components. Again, we don't want to use that. We only want to add the external component. So search for external. So for every external component, you need to add this component. So just click on that, give a proper name. And make it visible. Your external component now is added on that particular page. So just double click on that, it will open the settings part. So let's say I want to use my bundle.js file from my local hosted environment. So what I'll do, I'll choose that from path and I'll copy that path, paste inside that, and I want to give the names of rendition, for which rendition I want to create the public link. So what I'll do, I'll just add this, and what I have done, I have added the names of rendition. So for these 3 rendition, I want to create this public link. Click save. Now this component is now added to your page. So I'll go to the asset detail page. Now it will start showing on that particular page. So this is my external component, which now I have created. So if I see the public links, there is no public link available. So what I'll do, I'll just click on this and it will create 3 public links for me. Just click on that. Public link has been created for big thumbnail. Public link has been created for external. These are the rendition names. Public link has been created for thumbnail. So 3 public links has been created. So if I go to my public link section, now you can see these are the 3 public links that are created from external component. So yeah, this was our first use case. For the second use case, Tushar will explain the second use case.
Okay. Thank you, Gautam. So there are so much flexibility we have in Content Hub right now with this external component. Let's move to our next use case. So our second use case is basically when the content author or someone who is trying to upload an asset in Content Hub. So what are the options they have? So they have some options like they can take the image from the designer, they can pick somewhere from the Googling or anywhere. But if we will provide them an generative AI support in Content Hub that will enable them to just type a prompt and they will get the images from the AI itself. So for that, so let's move to the create page. So this is the normal workflow when we need to upload any asset in Content Hub. We just need to go in a create page, we need to click on add button. We have these two options available. The first one is we can pick image from device and the link we can provide here. So that's the normal workflow. Now we have created one external component which will integrate on this page, which will provide a generative AI support to Content Hub. So let me just configure that component. So first of all, we need to move to the page. So I am right now on a create page, and on that page I have already configured that component. So I just show the configuration to you. So what are the configuration I have added into that component? So this is the one bundle.js file which I have referenced from the same application which Gautam has shown you earlier. And then there are some configurations which I have provided to you. So in this configuration part, you will be able to see the API key, the number of images. So the user will get a number of options and they can select which options they want and they can upload that image. And then they can also provide the configuration of the size of image, that which size of image they want from the AI. Now these are the configuration part, and then let's move to the component then. So right now that component I have disabled on page, so that's why we are not able to see that, but let me enable that. So now that component is enabled, and when we refresh this page, we have that component available on page. So this is our AI image generator component, which has one prompt and one button which will get the data from AI. So let's type that we need some images regarding the Delhi. So let's type New Delhi and just click on generate image. So this is not an image which generated by AI. This is just a loader. So it takes some time to generate those images. So you need to wait. So yeah, that image part is there on screen. So you will be able to see that 3 images which are I think related to Delhi, right? So let's take an example that user want that the second image to be uploaded and the 4th image into Content Hub. So they select that 2 image and then just click on upload button. This is also not an so it's just load.
Need to wait like he's doing.
Yeah. Okay, now our images are uploaded in Content Hub. Let me just refresh this page. So on this page, you will be able to see those 2 images. Right now, those are there are certain processes in background, that multiple renditions which are created in background. So it will take some time, but once that process is complete, you will be able to see the assets. So this asset which we have on the fly, we have created from that Gen AI and uploaded into the Content Hub. So the end-to-end flow we have with in hand of content author, not that someone they need to depend on that and do the work. So that's the second use case, and let's just give some glimpse on the code which we have done for this component. So this is the React component which we have created. So I have just created 3 different functions. I have used OpenAI node module for the image creation, and then normal JavaScript SDK for the image upload process. So those are the main thing which are used in component to upload and generate an image. So that's the use case of our second one. I think that's all. I have almost covered everything on that. So yeah, that's all about the use case. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we are done for the demo, and like if you have any questions, you can ask now, or let's say if you want to understand these things, in depth, yeah, like we'll be available in that booth at the horizontal booth. So yeah, that's it from our end. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's asking a question. Yeah.
So, we have, there are two types of external components, right? The older one and the newer version. And the older one contains JavaScript version, the newer one is 2D, 3D. Just wanted to understand, is it actually migration or when you want to go to older to newer, it is the place for the efforts to meet similar?
So, they have done the migration, like initially they were using that knockout.js, okay. Now they have added the support of React, okay. So now they have changed the criteria to create these external component, okay. So initially we used to give the reference of this external JavaScript and you need to do some JavaScript code inside that external component. But now they have, removed that support. So all you need to do, you need to migrate your old external component. Let's say you have created these external component using .js, like using JavaScript. So you have to convert this JavaScript component into React component.
So that means that it is the fresh code.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
You can reduce some of the efforts.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
There isn't any tool available. We need to do it manually. That's
Thank you.
Okay. Any other
Hi,
question?
Gautam, Shabir here. Yeah, so while defining your input parameters, right, you're making sure that you're adding some objects. When you're defining your external components, you're giving a path and you're giving some input parameters as well. Can you just show me like
You were talking about this config thing?
Yeah, how the configuration is
Yeah,
defined in your code. Can you just give a glimpse of that one as well?
Okay. So how you are getting these config thing in code? You want to see that? Okay. You can show.
okay. Yeah. So basically, we have the context object available. Okay. So we have that context static object which we can access in our normal script which we create in Content Hub, and then we have the JS SDK which we are utilizing, right? So in JS SDK we need to do an authentication process, but in this case that have the pre-built authentication there. So you do not need to log in, you just have the context object available with you. So in that context object you have all the configurations. So I just go to the code. And
Just go to the code,
yeah. So for that configuration read purpose, we have, so here we have this context object. Okay, this is a static object which we will get with help of this JS SDK, and then we have the config property into that, and that config property has all the values which we have configured into that particular component.
That
So
is out of the box available. You don't need to do anything. Just write context.config. The name of the parameter. That's it.
okay.
Mike. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
When you are moving to higher environments, how would you define the path there? It will not be localhost, right? If you're giving the path as localhost
Yes.
/js.
Okay. So when we are moving into the production, right? You're talking about. Yeah. Then you have to deploy this that bundle.js file on your CDN environment, or you can use that portal asset.
Okay, it should be CDN script.
Yes. Exactly. Yep. So that local path is only when you are doing development.
Okay, yeah.
That's it. Mike, please. Yeah. Sorry.
Thanks for the question. Question is like, which is migrated from version 4.23 to
4.2. Yeah.
and there are external components which are working well with the migration effort. So do we need to like use the flexibility or advantage to transform the existing to the
Like if you are migrating, let's say currently you are using 4.1.0, okay, and you are migrating to 4.2.3, and if in the older version you had that external component, then it is a mandatory job to do that migration process and convert your old external component into new React based external component. So older component won't work in that newer version. Older external component.
No. Yeah. So there is one configuration. So in your setting part, you have that React enable checkbox. So that checkbox you need to enable, then your React component will work. and if you disable then the older version will be work. But something that they are thinking that they are now moving into the React side. So they have now changed their existing components into a React component. So if you see all the existing component of Content Hub, those are now switched to a React. So that's why they are just moving to React side instead of Knockout side. So it is still there, but they do take some time to. That's for that parts we are not on clear part right now, but that's our assumption. Right?
So you are saying your older component is still working with new React. Okay.
So that checkbox which is there in settings. So
Okay.
that's.
So we can connect. Yeah. Like.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So these are our social media handles. So if you want to connect with us, happy with that. And yeah, thanks to our sponsors for organizing this beautiful event. So, thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you.